Babe, do you have the pencil?
It just means you're in love.
No, no,
okay.
it's not that kind of feeling. It's more of a everything's collapsing in on itself kind of feeling.
Yeah, that's what I just described.
That just sounds like anxiety.
Well, it happened after I took a sip of this Fanta, so I'm not sure. It's either anxiety or Fanta.
Fanta-induced anxiety.
Oh, you're drinking Fanta. I know exactly what's happening. I got bad news for you.
I'm gonna throw up in like 30 minutes.
No, you're slowly becoming German.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Yeah, that kind of German.
Speaking of squeezing out all the weakness in favor of efficiency, how about this game, fellas? Does anybody even remember what happened last time? Because I don't. That's not my job.
Fortunately, yes.
Ooh, man, I hope so.
Oh, good, because I was gonna say I know I did the recap last week, but I currently have no idea what went on.
Yeah, I got you. Just give me a second. I'm getting my sheet set up.
The metamorphosis is beginning. Soon you're gonna go out to the local hardware store and buy a torque screw set.
All right. Let's see. So we headed out to Old Steel Garden to try and find this individual that is our current focus. But we find a palisade of trash and scrap manned by some of the Night Raiders. The Durgar in charge met us at the gate and was refusing to let us through because he said that Yemilyan was denying everyone entry, and she's the one who runs the Night Raiders. A couple of us took a better look at this barrier and figured out that we could probably just use one of the buildings further down the street to get through the wall, which brought us to a bathhouse of sorts. Inside it smelled of mildew and standing water, but to Daisy it smelled like a powerful detergent. Footprints in the heavy dust on the floor led to a strange area in the back of the building where like flat surfaces made of scrap had been added on the floor, the ceiling, the walls, and there were two doors made of the same materials. We opened both. One of them led through to the interior of the double quarantine zone. The other one dropped Ollie into a whirlwind trap that shook him up quite a bit. Inside the double quarantine zone seems pretty deserted, but we do hear some singing in the distance. Someone identifies it as a catch tune, and we round the corner and see that it is being hummed by a peacock lady who's dancing by herself, and Raisa is her name. She's wearing a weird Mardi Gras mask and tells us we picked the wrong part of town to explore, all the while not stopping singing and spinning, because she has face rot, which is why she's wearing the mask. Through some conversation with Marjorie, the peacock lady reveals that we are looking for Made Haas, I believe is how it's pronounced. She used to live nearby, but hadn't been able to walk in a while, and was not sure if she would still be there or not. So we head to the location that Risa pointed out, and we can see shapes clearly moving on the windows inside. So Daisy knocks at the door, and then we are accosted by a bunch of undead crashing out of the house. We were able to survive that scuffle, but the fighting stirred up local dogs. And so we ran inside to hide while we assumed the Night Riders would be coming by to investigate. Inside, we made our way into a locked room where Heinrich almost got hit in the face with a swinging typewriter. And the room was showing signs of developing the labyrinth curse as well. There's a makeshift Alfaxmos flag in the, I believe it was on the ceiling.
Correct.
Searching the room revealed a couple of things. Some medicinal pills for like headaches and sleep aids. Heinrich and Ollie looked at some of the smokestack and wizard's towers across the way to see if anything looked out of the ordinary, which it did, but I'll get to that in a second. Heinrich found finely machined metal parts clumped up under the mattress, and Aramis noted that there were weapons previously stored under there based on the depressions that had long been left underneath the mattress, and found a pamphlet for a wizard named Agrafina in her tower. The pamphlet is advertising that is infringing upon a patent of Heinrich's. This patent being a flying apparatus. But we are kind of assuming that this has to be a scam on the part of Agrafina because of the lack of form, the cheap cost, juxtaposed to the intended, the illustration, like the intended function, it just was, none of it was lining up. And we had identified the tower, Agrafina's tower, because the one that, the tower that Heinrich and Ollie identified as the most likely culprit looks nearly identical to the one that's on the pamphlet, with the addition of the extra labyrinth curse construction. And that's it.
Yeah, because we already had a direction we were heading in.
Yep.
Also, yeah, sorry everyone, I'm not doing the accent today. I'm sick. I can't even try my crappy French accent.
No
Sad.
worries.
Kind of fun to sometimes at least try, but see, I'm probably nasally enough for it, but there's no way. My poor throat.
I've been really bad with my voice. Don't worry about it. This is too late for me to do voices. You gotta catch me at an earlier time of day.
But you're a nocturnal creature.
Yeah, I'm a nocturnal creature who's being forced to wake up at like 6 a.m. This ain't.
Oh, you're about to suffer like I do, waking up at 4:30 every morning then.
Yes.
Truly agonizing.
It is. It's the worst.
But yeah, I think
I'm like up and talking to you before you go to bed.
I am just gonna blame Rockney and say it was all his fault.
That's fair.
What did I do?
But I'm blaming you. Feels right.
I find it very suspicious that you have not yet said anything offensive or derogatory, so I assume you're up to something.
Be your Rockney.
Who?
Rain, you say offensive, derogatory things all the time.
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, but mostly about myself.
Rocky, you're squeaky clean. I got my eye on you.
But
okay.
Right, Rocky over here like, what the heck? Why is everyone looking at me?
Mad at him because he's not being offensive.
Like-
That's great.
I would give the shifty eyes, but I don't have any shifty eyes to give.
See, this is why I got my eye on you.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
suspicious.
I think I need to stop drinking so much Fanta. It's really making my chest not feel great.
Well, maybe you'll feel better if you drink more of it.
Well, I've got a straw in my mouth, so I'm not stopping.
Speaking of almost dying, do you guys remember where exactly you left the session off last time? Inside the row house?
Yeah, no, I think we were in her house.
Getting slowly surrounded by ominous
Oh,
footsteps.
yeah. We were, yeah. Uh-oh.
Are those interior at all, or exterior?
You heard them echoing. Well, the NPCs heard them from outside.
Oh yeah, because like Madam Black and Nadia, they like barricaded the doors, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And now everybody's quiet, and you're just
Mhm.
listening. And you can hear footfalls, some kind of the slaps of bare feet, but also the cluds of boots
'Cause I was
on the
wondering.
cobblestones outside.
My thought was like, this house has probably been occupied by the undead for a while. What if we just shuffled around as if we were still the undead? Well, I don't know, because there's a bunch of undead outside now, so that might not work. Rats. It was a good idea originally. I guess they could all not be
Well,
dead.
you don't know what's outside.
Well, the corpses we killed.
Yes, that's
To
true.
be fair, we haven't looked to see if it's the
That
Night
is
Riders
correct.
Yeah, if it's
investigating
people or not. Yeah, okay. I gotta. Yeah, I'll try and. Is there a windows boarded up? Am I able to like peek out of them?
Yeah, you could peek out one of the cracks.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that as subtly as I can.
Make me a stealth check.
Oh, jeez.
Your favorite.
Oh, nailed
Oh,
it. Nailed it.
Whoa, holy crap, alright. You go super try hard. You press control and go into sneak mode and peer out some of the cracks in between the boards of the windows. And you can see small figures really shiftily and suspiciously like darting in between all of the double corpses that you left outside. And it takes you a minute, but it looks to be about 6 or so kobalds wrapped up in gross rags with little bags on their back and over their shoulders, and they are just like ripping off everything that could even be construed as valuable off of these corpses.
Good thing we don't care about anything on the corpses.
Yeah, I don't think so. They weren't really wearing a whole lot, weren't they?
And you can hear them whispering and chittering amongst themselves.
Oh, do we
What
catch anything?
language are they?
Yeah, I was about to say.
chittering in?
Do we catch anything?
Who knows Draconic?
I do.
Oh, not me. Not this
Not it.
time.
Good
No.
old Ollie does.
Yeah, Ollie, they're all pretty close. It's a fairly tight street that you battled on, and these guys are going at quite a pace. And so at various points, you basically hear all of them at one point or another, and they're saying things like, "Ugh, yes, check this one, check this one. Yes, how long ago? How long ago do you think this battle took place? Oh, very recently. Within an hour, maybe just a few minutes. We better hurry. We must tell the others. As someone is here, someone dangerous."
Ollie is going to quickly whisper, they say they need to report this because they think there's someone dangerous here. I don't know about you. I don't like the idea of them reporting anything.
No, I will have to agree.
You can both tell that they are going as fast as they can, and you're not going to have a whole lot of time to like bust out of there or follow them or basically act on this. Like they're going to leave very soon.
Oh, do we want to ambush them?
I mean, we're gonna kind of have to now, unless we want them, some of them getting away at least.
Oh, so what's the vote? Do we want to jump them or do we want to let them go and just like book it?
Let's
Um,
jump them.
Yeah.
I'm of the mind to jump them. I can, if we're on a second story, I can try to frost fingers out the window and catch a bunch of them in a cone from above.
I think we'll have to get pretty close, but yeah, like right on the edge.
I forgot. In addition, Marjorie,
Said it was a narrow street.
you have a lot of trouble seeing underneath their hoods and stuff, but when you do, it looks like these kobolds have painted the top half of their heads and like their snouts green.
Any particular kind of green that I would attach to anything, or not really? Just green.
Just as green.
Okay. I wonder what that means. Marjorie had mentioned it.
Ollie's immediate thought, maybe they put their heads down and just stand below the surface of water to make it look like they're alligators or something.
I don't think there's a lot of water around Joser Stand, but not in it, I think, right?
I mean, there is now because of all of the decay, but not really a whole lot to stand in. Like, Joser Stand doesn't really have canals or anything like that.
You might not have sewer gators.
Well, it could be sewers.
I suppose, but then they wouldn't need to paint the tops of their heads because it's dark down there too, right?
It's just speculation.
No.
Alright, are we doing this or not?
Well, I think the vote was overwhelmingly to jump. Marjorie's kind of a little squirmish about it, but like she doesn't like argue against it.
Alright. You said it was a narrow street, right?
Yes. Narrow enough for 2 wagons or carriages to pass each other. Not really comfortably.
Gotcha.
Enough to squeeze by. And have a little room for people sitting on their stoops and walking on either side. It's crammed, but... Well, why do you ask?
I ask because I'm probably going to be casting this. Just out of a window. Try to catch as many of them as I can.
You'll probably be able to catch at least half of them if it's from a first-story window.
Cool. Is there anyone that already has like a pane on the window broken?
All of the windows are technically broken. You could probably stick your fingers through the slats that Marjorie was looking through earlier.
All right, a wand tip protrudes from that, and I'll open us up.
All right.
Oh, gross on the damage.
Oh man! Wow. Yeah. Oof. Frost fingers. Does that slow them down? Or no? Is it reading the
No.
text? No.
But they all
They all fail. Alright, so there's 6 of these kobolds getting ready to leave, and you basically wait until one of them kind of sticks their thumb out and motions for everybody to get out, and they've all got their backs turned, and that's when you hit them. And they all squeal and cry out, "Ah! Ah! They're still here! They're still here! Run!"
I think I would still be. So, are we just getting like an ambush round?
Yeah, you guys set
Okay.
up and ready to pound.
Okay. Because I'm just wondering. I would have been downstairs because I don't think I have any ranged weapons. How close are they to the building? Pretty close. Like within movement range, kind of like.
4 of them are within 15 feet of the building.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I would. Ooh, are we aiming to kill them or catch them?
maybe catch one.
One? Okay. Oh,
Damn.
Jeez, savage. Okay, uh-oh. Rockney, you're back on the radar.
Oh no, I think I'm keeping more eyes on you now. What a heel turn.
Whoa, the villain arc has begun.
I did not say that in an Australian accent. That was the player, not the
Hey, no,
character.
I definitely
man.
said Rockney.
Villain arc.
But yeah, okay. So, well, the door is barricaded. Would I be able to, like, just hop out a window and, I guess, attack one of these little fellas? Oh, man, poor little guys.
Oh yeah, you could like run out the door and start wailing on them or crash through a window. It's up to you.
Oh, okay, well, she wouldn't, like, crash through a window right now. Yeah, so if the door is available, she would go out the door and, ruin a kobold's day. Let's see, what do I got? We'll conserve my spell slots because I don't think we're gonna get to rest really soon. So, stab, attempt at stab, which probably fails,
It does,
and
unfortunately.
then my offhand. It's got my normal dagger. Wow.
That is what you need to hit these.
I was about to
guys.
say dirty dice today. Oh my gosh. Okay, my. Woo! It's something. 6 to this one little guy.
All right. Are you going to kill this guy, or are you going to just
Um,
incapacitate him?
I incapacitate. Marjorie's like, oh, we need someone to interrogate. So she goes bonk with, I guess I'll do it with the hilt of the dagger. Just bonk him in the head.
You easily overwhelm this malnourished kobold. He fumbles with his dagger, and you knock it out of his hands and then punch him in the back of the head. And you're kind of worried that you might have killed him anyways as he face plants into the cobblestone.
Marjorie, crap! No. I'm sorry.
Who dares to continue this massacre?
Aramis will go.
Said the magic word.
Yes. He will charge out the door after Marjorie and run at the first closest one and attempt to pierce it with his rapier.
That absolutely hits. And what about you? Are you trying to kill these guys, or are you trying to take some prisoners?
Oh, no, Aramis is not taking any prisoners here. He will just run this kobold straight through, and then he will draw his pistol to shoot at another.
Directly through his kobold heart, and he falls dead. You flick him off your sword and continue shooting. Which also hits.
That might attract more people, but we'll see.
Good. More people to stab.
I promise.
How does he not have eyes on him?
Right?
We already know he's
Hey, in character we do.
I expect this from Cody, but not from you.
This is the this is the standard. But no, yeah, Marjorie's like she protests in the background a little bit. Oh gosh, my voice. But
I am sure
what?
these are not the only gunshots we will be hearing this part of town.
I don't think we've heard anything since we got here.
Well, I didn't say that they would be not my gunshots we would be hearing.
Aramis, you brain this guy, and all of the kobolds are now freaking out and trying to escape. All 3 of them that are left.
I'm gonna catapult a stone at one of their heads, trying to knock them out.
Please do.
It's got to make a dex save.
Ooh-wee, I'm trying. There we go.
A nimble guy.
Heinrich, you aim at one of the kobolds that is further away, and he is nimble. He is cartwheeling around while screaming. They are everywhere! They are everywhere! There are so many of them!
Well, that's my turn.
Who dares go next?
I want to have some bugs eat a kobold. Have some bugs eat a kobold.
It's that infestation.
I just want the bugs to eat the kobold. Can they make a Constitution saving throw to be eaten?
Oh damn, they're on fire.
What are these kobolds?
Oh wow. Well, I mean, they're probably
The
freaking
the power of fear
out. Yeah, exactly.
when the adrenaline hits.
I guess that's my turn.
Heinrich be launching rocks, Daisy be launching bugs, and these kobolds in the back are just aces. They are running around and freaking out, and you can tell that they're broken. They intend on fleeing the moment they can.
Well, let's have the NPCs say something about that. Madam Black can scurry outside and try to clock one over the head.
She absolutely can. Oh, that hits.
Oh yeah.
Madam Black laughs cruelly while she beats one of these kobolds into a bloody pulp, with no intention of allowing it to survive. Aha! Aha!
I guess Nadia's gonna try and blow a kneecap out with her crossbow.
Ooh. Yeah, it is. Nadia gets one of their knees. It was the one that you were shooting at. She avenges you, and she cripples this poor little kobold who is still like clawing its way down the street and trying to escape, but you'll be able to catch him just fine. But he is down, and now there is only one kobold left. Oh no, no! This is a disaster! A disaster!
Alright. Modester Yaroplek, come in clutch.
Yeah, which is it gonna be?
Mordor.
Well, that was
What?
almost a word.
A Mordor.
Oh, you're gonna have Modesta do some murder?
Yes, a Mordor.
Oh, is that another word Daisy learned?
No, this isn't another word murder yet, and Modest can't hit for shit still.
Alright, it's all down to Yaroplek.
I mean, I got something in my back pocket, but we'll see.
And is there 2 left or 1 left?
There's one.
Okay. Yaroplek will bravely charge at this enemy that he sees, and he will give it the stabby stabby. Oh!
No, we won't.
Yoroflex tripped over a rock.
Okay.
Modesta's shooting out of like one of the cracks in the windows, and he almost hits Yaroplek while he's charging. What are you doing? You got in my way! You got in my way! And this little kobold is going to fucking book it, screeching into a nearby building via a crack in one of the walls.
Could I have my friend go after him
Yeah.
and attempt his other ability on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What kind of save does that require?
Let me check. Charisma DC 13.
He actually has a chance.
No, he doesn't.
Never mind.
Yeah, never
So
mind.
you guys all see this little kobold skittering into a nearby building. Yes, I will tell them about you. I will get you. And then you hear some big footsteps and a thud against one of the doors, and some scuffling around, and you see the kobold, googly-eyed, stumble out of the nearby row house. Weird. My legs are so small. I'm so dirty. Everything looks different.
I'll wave the little last kobold down. Be like, hello.
He stumbles back towards you.
Yes, that was she kind of like does the shifty eyes for a second, like you knew we running is futile, and then can I like bonk him on the head?
Oh, yes! Ow, ow! Yes, I surrender! You got me! Oh, no!
And then I'm going to tie him up and lean over and whisper, okay, you can let him go now.
You know that kobold has a weird accent when he speaks common.
Yeah, there's just like a total disconnect between their draconic and their common.
You guys see Marjorie tie this dude up and whisper a little something in his ear, and then his eyes uncross. Ah! Ah! He instantly begins struggling against his binding.
Yeah, that whole situation looks pretty unhinged.
Holy shit! Ah!
Okay, now his voice is completely different.
Cannibals! Cannibals!
Weird. Fear can do a lot to a guy. Shifty eyes.
Yeah, well, whatever spell that was, you'll have to teach it to me. So it seems useful.
It is. She'll pause for a second and be like, yes, command is very useful.
You guys all feel super cold.
She kind of wrings her hands a little bit, as if she's cold, and just kind of tries to smile, or, does the fake smile, like, yeah, see, everything turned out.
Daisy, you absolutely see everything. It's super obvious to you.
I'm pretty sure Daisy's known this whole time.
Yes. Sort of. So there you guys are, with 2 whole prisoners.
Oh yeah, I go retrieve the one that's dragging itself away.
Oh, my bad. You have 3 prisoners.
Oh, do we? Okay, I was about to say, is the guy rendered unconscious trying to crawl away?
No.
The one that, yes, Nadia's crossbow through the knee, arrow to the knee guy. You drag him back. No, no, get away from me! Just finish me off! Don't eat me alive!
Oh, you eat each other. Oh, Marjorie just kind of looks disgusted.
He seems confused. No, you do! Oh, cannibals, if I ever saw them! Ugh, you're disgusting!
We are no cannibals.
Oh, what'd you say,
Uh,
Henrik?
He is, cowering and cringing and covering his eyes with his arms, but you see one of his eyes kind of poke out between his 2 arms. He says, who are you? Mercenaries? Oh.
We are
Ollie kind of
No.
glances around the group. I mean, not really mercenaries, but
investigators, Marjorie interjects. We are investigating a misunderstanding, let's say. Someone claimed some items that belonged to one of our party, and we are simply here to discuss an exchange or retrieval of said items.
What the fuck? Investigators? You killed Clement and Alex and Gusev. What kind of investigators are you? You monsters!
She kind of looks back at the others since she hadn't been fond of the ambush in the first place. She says, he does have us there.
Ollie just kind of like almost does that like whistling nonchalantly, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, when the Jaw learns of this, and he will, you're all going to be dead.
Is that who you were talking about reporting back to?
He gets the shifty eyes. Yes.
Is that a threat?
No, it is just the way it is going to be. No one crosses the Gator Boys and lives to tell about it.
See, I knew it was something to do with the Gators.
Yes, you've won this one. Marjorie just kind of waves her hand.
The Gator Boys, you know you're not alligators.
Well, yeah, obviously. No, we paint ourselves to fit in. It's our sign. We're the biggest gang in Josephstan. Well, maybe the Night Riders are a little bit bigger.
You're the biggest gang in Josephstan. How come we haven't heard of you? Unless... And he turns to Modest.
Modest looks very confused and just shrugs at you.
Different circles, I imagine, Ollie.
Well, it's kind of hard for a gang to have reputation if no one knows about you.
Nadia in the background. What about the X-Pack? She said they're really more of a mafia. I wouldn't count them as a gang, per se.
What's the difference? Public opinion.
He gets the shifty eyes. Well, Dmitriev, he says that it doesn't count, so it doesn't count. We are the biggest gang in Josephstan. And you've crossed us, and you're going to pay for it. Also in the background, the bolt to the knee guy. Ah! My knee! Oh, this hurts so much! What? He's just wailing.
He'll be fine.
So should we just put these little creatures out of their misery?
Marjorie gasps, as if she couldn't fathom the idea. Really, just kill them restrained and just. She kind of looks down at them and she cringes.
That is not a very honorable thing to do.
Forgive me for speaking this, but they are pests, no? Kind of like rodents in the basements.
Marjorie kind of clears her throat. While I have not seen many in a position of power, I do not think they are necessarily discriminated against back in Castile. Not that I recalled.
Madam Black is so thrilled to hear you say this. Yes, indeed. Good Sir Knight is correct. I believe we should crush these vermin where they stand or lay, or whatever the case may be.
Should we let them go then? I'm confused what we are doing here.
Well, The issue now is that if we let them go, they present another problem for us later.
Either way, I think their gang leader is going to find out that something happened here. He may not have our faces, but he'll have the beginning of our trail. If he has anything that can track us, she shrugs, they're probably going to know we were here either way. She looks pointedly down to the little guy who's, the most with it right now. I think it'd be needless to end any more lives today. But that's, she holds her hands up. That is, I am not necessarily a warrior, but killing them does not sit well with me.
Should we ransom them back to the gang? I do not know
I
how
mean-
these little creatures operate.
Yarp like gasps. Good idea, boss. And if they do not pay the ransom, I saw a well and a sewer cover. He just lists a bunch of places to hide their bodies. Like he's been thinking about it, remembering it.
Marjorie is like, she puts her hand to her chest and turns away, like, oh my gosh.
None of this will be necessary. They value the fact that they are still alive, so they will not say anything about this, yeah?
Oh, you do the.
Heinrich leans awful close while he asks that.
Oh, you smell really nice. Are you're not from around here, are you?
9.
Yes, we won't say anything. Right, fellas? Camera pans over to unconscious kobold, who does not reply, then pans over to screaming kobold, who is not listening. Yes, we say nothing. We don't know who you are, we don't know any name. And besides, you should leave me alive because I don't know anything. If you leave me alive, I can tell you that.
Tell us what?
Well,
Many things.
Oh, many things. I mean, yes. I think, well, that sounds very useful. Marjorie kind of looks back to the rest of the group.
Indeed. In Draconic, Ollie will speak up and say, but you really shouldn't say anything about us to anyone. Because if you do, we'll know. And he just kind of points to Daisy, wherever they are, and says, especially that one. They'll know. And I'm just hoping that the generically creepy look comes across.
I'm drooling looking at these kobolds. They look like a snack.
Yes, if anyone's gonna eat them, it's gonna be Daisy.
Yeah, look, Daisy probably hasn't seen a lot of kobolds in her life, so these do look like a snack to her.
His pupils dilate and he just whispers, "Holy shit!" Yes, of course, I will just tell, I didn't like those guys anyway. I will tell them that they caught a bad bout of Redorand's haunt. We had to put them down. No worries.
And then back in common. So what do you know?
Oh, many things. What did you want to ask me about?
You did just mention Redorand's haunt? What is that? We know it's an illness.
Oh, yes, a terrible illness. Oh, when you catch it, oh, you go crazy. He kind of like makes swirly motions with his fingers upside his head. Oh, you start thinking that everyone is against you, acting out violently. Your eyes get all gross looking and milky. You either run off into the wilderness or something and die on your own, or if he doesn't get taken care of quickly, you might kill someone just randomly bursting out. A terrible disease.
Oh, so it's like sentient rabies.
I was about to say it sounds a lot like rabies. Okay. Oh, how do you get it?
He shrugs. I don't know. It has been cropping up more and more in the city lately.
Unfortunate. But, she doesn't know what else to ask about that if that's all he knows about it specifically.
Yeah, he ain't a doctor.
Well, yeah. But sometimes they know, like, oh, close proximity, or if you're around a lot of these certain animals, we've noticed that, you get it or whatever. But yeah, I doubt he'd be privy to any of that.
Oh man, Minotaur is susceptible to mad cow.
Oh.
Oh, poor
Robin Hood.
guys. No. Well, we're not from around here. What are some suggestions that you would give to someone who's just arrived to this part of town?
That is not already obvious.
He looks like very confused and concerned. Oh, well, I don't know. It looks like you're kind of already taking care of business. I would obviously say don't cross the Gator Boys because, we'll kill you, but, you didn't cross the Gator Boys. The Night Riders, they are our sworn enemies. They hold a good deal of the Upper West Side. If you are going to try and cross them, do it during the daylight. They only come out at night, really.
Oh, are most of them nocturnal races? We've met some
He nods. Yes.
Durga and Drow.
Drow, Durga, kobalds. He kind of gets the shifty eyes. Orcs, Sawagin, Munavri. The usual suspects.
Are there any parts of the city that you would deem even off limit for you guys that's so dangerous or contaminated that you wouldn't go?
He thinks for a second and then, kind of face palms himself. He says, it is so obvious. I almost forgot. And he, turns and slow points to your destination. Whatever you do, do not go into any of the labyrinths. Do not listen to what everyone else says. The labyrinth curse is very real, and those afflicted by it are dangerous.
How so? We have not encountered a afflicted individual.
I know you haven't, because you're still alive. They get smarter, faster. They are paranoid, very protective. They are very hard to kill. It would take a huge team with more firepower than even you guys have just to take down one of them. And even then, you would have to get through their nasty little mazes that they build, filled with traps and all sorts of poisons and all the goos that they find. Yes. And many adventurers I know of in the past couple years have bled themselves dry on the labyrinths. And do not believe them either. He kind of points at all of you guys, just whipping around with his finger and stuff. They will say, crazy, that they have treasure. Oh, we are hiding our treasure. You'll never reach the treasure, blah, blah, blah. They have nothing. The curse eats away at their mind, and whatever is most important to them is what they say the treasure is. I heard that one time it was a teddy bear. Nearly a dozen men braved one of the smaller labyrinths, and all they got out of it was a dirty teddy bear.
Do
But yes.
you, does he know Mad Maddie House? Or Haas? I don't know how to say it. Haas? Okay.
Haas.
When you say Mad Maddie, he just gasps. No, her? No. But I mean, I know of her. I hope she doesn't owe you money.
I feel like this kobold just did the equivalent of like the Pirates of the Caribbean black spot dance.
Yes.
Do you know who and what she was before her affliction?
Oh, not exactly. There are rumors. I mean, she doesn't really talk to a lot of people, you know. Some say she's ancient, that she was the one who founded Jotherstan, and that she has been here the entire time, and the whole underside of the city is a maze. Other people say that she kind of eyeballs you, Heinrich, that she's one of your people, big and strong, that she got dropped off by Kaiserschützen to destroy the city from within. Personally, I think she is just a black hat who got kicked out and shamed. Why else would she be on this side of the town anyhow? But, if you want to know more, you can ask her yourself. She's the only one of these, cursed people who actually travels around. Day or night, morning, fog or rain, every once in a while you'll see her out of the corner of your eye, covered in rags. She usually leaves you alone, but there are stories. Cutting off heads, limbs, chopping people in half. If there's any of them that is actually guarding something valuable, it could be her. After all, she's got the biggest maze out of all of them.
I'm guessing it's a tower.
Oh yeah, he points to it, and it's your destination.
Lovely.
Well, we were going to the right place after all then.
Yeah, I agree. However, the more and more we get into this, the more and more it feels like this is not something we want to do as spent as we are.
Marjorie kind of thinks for a moment. I have some energy left, but yeah, I suppose if they really are as challenging as he says, then it would probably be unwise to approach her now. I don't know how everyone else is feeling.
Heinrich just kind of slumps down. I believe a rest is in order.
Marjorie kind of looks around. I am loath to stay here any longer than necessary, though. Won't that increase chances of infections?
Or are you asking this guy?
She's just asking kind of like the group in general. Like anyone who knows anything. Like we know generally how illnesses are spread, just not exactly. But
Undoubtedly, but maybe if I have a couple minutes, I might be able to prestidigitate a clean room for us.
I can as well if it comes down to it, but
As close to one as we're gonna get, anyways.
I just don't think we're capable of cleaning the air. She has a cloth over her face and she's just kind of looking at, around suspiciously.
If you're new to this part of town, just know that it is very abnormal to make as much noise as you have been making. It's, like ringing the dinner bell.
In other words, we don't want to stay here. We should move and find somewhere else quiet.
We could find a better position where we could monitor the tower we're going to be going to. Maybe we'd be able to wait till she left and take back what Heinrich's missing.
I'm not sure what I'd be more nervous about. Mad Maddie being out and perhaps putting on more dangerous traps while she's gone, or being in us having to deal with her while she's there.
Neither one of those sounds ideal.
Well, at the very least, we can watch, so then we can decide if she leaves or not. And then we'll at least know if she's there, and then we'd be able to wait for when she comes back. And maybe we could time it where, maybe she hasn't put all the traps back up, because then she has to get through. So,
Right.
She would start looking for a good building nearby. She'd belatedly turn back around. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. And if no one else has questions for this guy, she'll free him. Does anyone else have questions?
I got nothing.
Okay. Then yeah, she lets our friend go, and I guess, hold on, do I have anything to help this guy? Did we man, I don't think I have anything to help this guy really.
Don't worry, he's got two friends that can help move him.
Well, one of them's unconscious. I would wave Daisy over to the arrow and the knee guy. Daisy?
Daisy?
Daisy's mostly awake still.
I'd bring you over to the guy with the wounded knee and gesture for helping him.
Right, you won't. What gesture are you doing for help?
She's pointing to his knee and doing a soothing gesture.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, Daisy would whip up a soothing balm for his knee. I don't want to use a healing spell. I know we're about to rest, but I don't want it.
So, what are you doing exactly?
Taking a bunch of flowers and bits I have on and turning them into some sort of healing ointment. It might not actually heal him, but it will make his knee feel better at least. Like a local anesthetic.
Roll a medicine check or a nature.
$13.
Your boy is in agony. He's rocking back and forth, whimpering and crying. And when you start ripping off parts of your body and shoving them into his wound, he just whoa, what the fuck?
See,
But
now
eventually-
he's less concerned with the pain and more concerned with the fact that I've shoved things in it.
You take out the bolt and you fix him up, give him a little bandarina. You don't put a whole lot of effort into it, but his situation has improved a great deal of which due to the fact that he is utterly flabbergasted.
Again, Daisy would rather be eating the kobold, so, you know,
Yeah, it took
You're-
convincing.
yes.
Don't worry, you got all the dead ones.
You're
Well, we
less
know-
applying a salve and more seasoning a snack.
There was definitely garlic in there. I definitely put garlic in his wound.
Oh my god, you
Delicious.
almost made me choke on my drink.
There's definitely some garlic and maybe a little bit of paprika and what else goes well with kobold.
Seasoned cobalt. Dirty cobalt.
Yum,
You're
yum.
cooking it off, it ain't dirty anymore.
When you guys leave, the other two kobolds, pick him up, put arm in arm, and they're just, oh, why do it smell so good? Smell delicious, like dinner. What? Who says that?
Yeah, we were just
Oh,
worried about cannibals, dude. Super uncool.
Maybe they were projecting the cannibal thing.
Well, no, because they mentioned someone specific, didn't they? When they mentioned cannibals?
No.
No, oh, okay. They just mentioned. I assume if this part of this town is bad, cannibalism is a thing,
Or
probably.
the zombies that we dealt with.
Or they see zombies, eating people, and they assume, oh, it's people eating people, which, a lot of people would come to that conclusion.
Yeah, they only mentioned one person. And it was Dmitriev the Jaw, the
Yeah,
leader of their
that's the
gang.
boss, right? Yeah. I'm sure he's a great guy.
Due to a hilarious typo that I made, ringing him up, he is.
Definitely not Jaws from Bond or anything.
Oh man, you wish.
That would be terrifying. Kobold with
I
a
mean,
metal
I guess
sided
we're gonna
teeth.
find out.
Ooh-wee.
Before
Well-
they leave, Aramis will say, sorry about your offense there. I look forward to future conflicts. He'll take his hat off, give them a curt bow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no problem. Barely knew them anyway.
Back in just a moment.
And when you guys go off to your destination, when you look over your shoulders, you see the kobolds, like, when you leave, it looks like they're walking in the opposite direction, but when you check back, when you make some distance, you find that they are scurrying back and taking their boys' loot with them. They are leaving nothing behind.
Seem really desperate for stuff for the biggest gang in the city.
It would appear so.
I mean, they are in Steel Garden, so not surprised. I don't know how much they function in the rest of the city. I mean, that would be another reason that, Modest wouldn't have heard really about them, because they're, not around in the more rich areas.
Yeah, because they're not the biggest gang, probably.
You can roll an insight if you want to. A very easy insight.
Don't worry, I'll probably fail it.
These guys are probably bigger than they've ever been because of the quarantine. But they are obviously small time. Ain't no way Modeste or even Nadia would know about them. Anybody on the south side of Jozerstan probably wouldn't know about them either. The only way you would get real good information on them is if you found somebody from this part of the city. Like they are very local, for sure. Even Ollie knows. So you are heading over to Mad Maddie's, correct?
Indeed.
Yeah, because I think we wanted to find a building that kind of looked over it.
Do a stakeout so we
Yeah,
can get a long
stakeout,
rest
but then we
in.
could also rest, yeah.
Okay. Whoever wants to can hit me with an investigate or a perception to try and find a good place to hide and rest. Ah, damn!
All right. But let's leave it to the guy who probably has staked out before.
Ah, damn! Aramis and Heinrich, you know what's good. Oh yeah, because you both have a sort of a military background. Yes, that makes sense. You two get your tactics on and try to find an elevated position with some obstacles in between you guys, and you end up finding an abandoned maze. You find that the entire entrance of the maze looks like it's still set up, but when you begin exploring it, it's clear that this maze has been abandoned for some time. Like, all the contraptions on the inside are busted or not working. There's the remnants of runes and wards that have long since petered out. And you go to the attic of a 4-story tenement house. And you find that there are a bunch of old mattresses and boxes and crates and stuff up here. And even a stove. And the holes in the roof of this place have been partially patched and have little overhangs over them that give you a very good view of the surrounding area. You've got a couple of blind spots, but you guys aren't too worried about it because you have views of what you feel are the only entrances to this building, as well as Maddie's Maze. In fact, Heinrich and Aramis, when you guys are scoping the place out, you also scope out Mad Maddie's Maze.
Neat.
What do we learn about the maze?
It looks like a pile of junk from a distance, but up close, you figure out some fairly important details. It looks as if the wizard tower has partially collapsed onto a factory. And it looks like the factory is collected to some sort of stockyard. It looks like they processed meat there at one time. The tower itself is still standing mostly, but it's hard to tell because it looks like a few buildings in the surrounding area, plus those two major structures, have been stitched together by like the haphazard, plywood junk that make up the maze that kind of circles around the buildings and spirals up the wizard tower. And it looks like there's a large section at the very top of the wizard tower that has been built onto it. It very much looks like some sort of crow's nest. You guys rolled pretty high, so I'm going to say when you look up at that crow's nest, you feel eyes on you. Aramis, you get a feeling like you're being watched when you're doing this.
I feel like we are perhaps being watched at this moment. Let us keep on our toes.
Yaraplek stays very close to you, just agreed, boss. It's this place. you guys find a decent place to make a quick camp for yourselves, and if you want to, you can take a long rest here.
Yes, I would like that.
And so you do.
Marjorie spends a lot of time making sure one of these mattresses is very clean, and then she takes out a sewing kit and actually like mends the worst parts of the mattress so she at least has like a somewhat comfortable part to sleep on. Like she'll pack, it's because they sometimes lose their stuffing or whatever. The older kind of mattresses, she shoves it all over to one side to make sure there's at least one nice sleeping area.
Probably a good idea. This place seems pretty dirty, but you don't feel like it's anything you can't take care of. You feel decently safe up here. The only way to really get to where you guys are is either a stairwell that is very creaky and noisy, or a bunch of adjacent rooftops that are covered in like cheap tiles that you feel like would slide off if somebody tried to run up them.
This is the safest I've felt since we got here.
Well, so this particular location, yeah, I suppose so, I would agree.
I mean, this whole like area.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Stone
we
Garden.
were safe at Modest's.
Aramis will offer to take first watch.
What time of day is it right now?
Ooh, good question.
Because the 3rd of January has been all of waking up at... It's been like the last 2 sessions. Waking up
Correct.
at the Novikov estate, poring over our notes, going out, getting across the bridge into the bad side of town. The auction house, and getting to where we are now. It's all the same day.
It is evening time by now.
Then definitely a good time to rest.
Yeah, and so Marjorie, she'll, are we setting up a watch? I know we are confident in our positioning, but...
Yeah, Aramis had offered to take first watch.
Oh, excellent. Sorry, I was busy, she gestures to the mattress she was fixing up.
Yeah, Ollie is currently spamming prestidigitate on his.
Yeah, she does that as she fixes the mattress. And then she also cleans the area around the bed, and then she collapses.
Daisy would just grow like a mossy bed out of the floor and sleep on that.
Alright, give me a sec. Aramis, roll 2 20s for me.
You got it. A 19 and a 20.
Alright, give me a sec.
Marjorie's got a little face mask that she puts on while she's sleeping, of course. She She doesn't really wear armor, so she just kind of makes sure she has a peg to. She puts a nail in a wall if there isn't one, and hangs her coat up so it doesn't touch the floor. And oh man, so I guess I just sleep in my normal clothes because we didn't bring like a change of clothes or anything. So yeah, she's just sleeping in a nice blouse and some she's wearing her riding pants and boots. So she just stands her boots up at the foot of where she sleeps. Everything is tidy and in its own place.
Yeah, Ollie folds whatever he's not wearing to sleep neatly in his briefcase.
Busting out the silk pajamas.
He could. But in this instance, I think he'll forego.
Madam Black finds a chair to sleep in after just looking at everything being gross. Just, oh no. Fine chair, whatever. And she sits up straight and looks super weird while she sleeps.
Of course she does.
She badmouths somebody while she's sleeping. She talks in her sleep. Stupid. What are you talking about? Modeste curls up like a dog at the foot of Daisy's bed. He runs in his sleep, kicks his legs and stuff. And Nadia and Yaraplek give absolutely no fucks. They just collapse on mattresses without even checking them and take a nap, start catching flies.
Heinrich is gonna do that after he spends some time tinkering with that folding gun we found.
Ollie will also pull out the broken bits of, what was it, Hilbert's broken musket parts, the ones that got like slashed in half by the laser beam.
Oh yeah, it's another one of the foldy ones.
So maybe you could use one or the other as spare parts.
Yes. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get both of them in working order. Right now I'm just attempting to understand this. How they achieves the folding. I never thought to do something like this.
Yeah, what did I say that was again? What was it called?
Ooh, let me look. I just wrote folding rifle.
Because I think you wanted to turn it into a folding rifle. I don't think it folded.
No, there was a no, so you got a it was a musket that can fold in half, and its accompanying ammunition out of one of Vsevolod's safes in his vault. So you have a working rifle.
And the one you got was lasered in half, but it wasn't it one too?
I don't know if it was a folding one or not. It was just Hilbert's.
I remember the folding rifle you got there was something about it was a certain style of make and it had to use a certain style of ammunition.
Yeah, yes.
Correct.
Which it was 50. It was 50 rounds that you got for it.
Mm-hmm. Henrik hasn't even really checked it out too much yet. We've just been on the move this whole time.
Give me a sec. Here. Oh my goodness.
You know, what you guys are doing now, Marjorie would probably do in the morning with the orb. I think that's the only thing she really has on her right now that she can actually stare at. Oh, and the book, I guess. I might mess with the orb this time, though, since that's the curious thing.
Yeah, you all see Ollie, what kind of while all of this is going down and everyone's winding down for the night. He pulls out a journal from his briefcase and sits up against one of the walls on the mattress and is just writing away. Occasionally glancing up at everybody in the room, probably as he's writing about them.
Marjorie sprawled out on her mattress as if it's like a perfectly fine lounge chair once she's prettied it up a little bit.
There we go. Okay. So Heinrich,
Yeah.
you lay out this musket and examine it. And write this down because it's very important. It is an Alpino musket.
That's what it was. We found one of those towards the end of the last campaign, didn't we?
I believe you did. Heinrich, you examine it. You find that it is shockingly durable and high quality, especially for a Dumat weapon. It is a little shorter than your average musket, and it has very fine flip-up sights that you know will enable you to make some very precise shots.
Ooh.
Isn't that the same gun as Eleanor?
Quiet.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Or she's similar,
Lieutenant
she's
Krause's
similar.
rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It was very similar.
Same brand.
I don't think
guess.
it. Yeah, I don't think it was an Alpino though.
I think it had Alpino bullets. Maybe. I'll
Well,
check later.
Yeah, I think it was chambered for Alpino.
Heinrich, you don't know a whole lot about Dumat muskets other than the fact that they only fire pinfire rounds. And when you inspect the barrel and the chamber and what have you, you give it some measurements and you have a handful of normal pinfire rifle rounds around you. And you realize that normal rounds will not fit in this weapon. It can only fire Alpino rounds, of which I believe you have 50.
Correct.
You have 50 Alpino rounds and 10 plus 1 rounds. Because that is what was in the safe.
Are they bigger or smaller?
They are smaller. And also longer.
I'm
You
gonna-
could, with proper equipment, you could convert other ammo that you had into Alpino rounds, but it would be a lot of work. And you do not have that equipment with you right now.
Okay, so I don't need to like take one apart to figure out how to make them like that.
No.
Okay. Well, I can add that to the shopping list.
Ooh, I don't think I ever gave you the stats for it either.
No.
I've sent them to you. But you sit down and figure it out, and familiarize yourself with it, give it some dusting, and throw some oil in the hinges and what have you. And basically, it's ready to use.
And then is Ollie's gun similar, or?
Ollie, you and Heinrich take a look at this thing, because it doesn't take Heinrich too long to sort out what he's got. But what you have used to be very confusingly called a Carbine Short Model 1. It says it on the receiver, and it's got all the stamps and markings from actually right here in Joserstan, Joserstan Ironworks. And you are mildly confused at first because it is not a carbine, it is a shotgun. And you figure that once it is repaired, it will be able to fire shotgun pinfire rounds. It shouldn't be too terribly difficult. You'll have to replace the stock, but you think this is well within your means to accomplish.
Don't worry, we'll get you slam firing that thing in no time.
It's not mine. You asked me to hold on to it for you.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've got what I need. And he brandishes his wand. No ammunition for me.
Sometimes doesn't hurt to have an emergency thing. Marjorie would put in.
As you say that, you think about it for a second. You've never seen Heinrich reload his other rifle.
So, just in emergency situations, I cast Glock.
Correct.
Marjorie nods. She's like, yes, actually.
I mean,
Said it in the Australian accent. Glocks are now canon in Steve's world.
I'm not unequipped. I do have a few daggers.
Well, if you do not fancy yourself a shooter, once it's repaired, I'm sure I could make use of it.
Well, I've no doubt about that. But repairing it would be in Heinrich's wheelhouse.
That shouldn't take too much.
I mean, if you need a stock shaped or carved or whittled or oiled and lacquered, then I can do that for you. It's not too far outside of my wheelhouse, but
unfortunately, it has been lasered in half pretty roughly. You can work on it now and save what you can. You don't need to roll for it or anything, but you can't fully repair it until you get to some kind of machine shop or workshop.
Right.
You can clean it up, brush it up, throw some oil on it.
Yeah, no, Heinrich, for what is left of it that is still in one piece, he makes it look, kind of nice. Well, if we find it in this labyrinth, what I think we will, I'll be able to fix it at the end. He kind of shrugs. I assume she has some sort of workshop up there.
But alright, you guys work on your projects. Nobody else wanted to work on a project, right?
Not unless any of these chair or table legs look like a good wand blank.
Ooh,
Marjorie was just gonna do her thing in the morning, like privately, go to another room or something. So she'll just wait for that. And I would try and keep it like really brief.
Ollie, you do find some really high quality wood. But right now, Madam Black is sleeping in it.
All right, well, I will deconstruct it in the morning before we leave then.
Sounds good. So you guys all hit the hay.
Yep. Would it be out of the ordinary to have like an alarmed pocket watch for like a timer or anything like that?
Like to have a wind-up clock for an alarm? No, not necessarily.
Okay. I would just like to wake up before the long rest finishes and use my last spell slot to cast Mage Armor so that I have all my spell slots and still have Mage Armor up for the next 7 hours.
Okay.
You probably wake
I'm
up.
squishy.
Oh, we both are, yeah. You'd probably be getting up as Marjorie's getting up out of bed and
It's pretty sus, but I'm going to allow it because I know it's coming next.
Thanks.
Oh, that's concerning.
oh shit.
I am a generous god, don't worry
Whispers shit.
Yeah.
You're mad.
about it. Give him the nair.
Sacre-bleu.
So does the
During the night while you guys are sleeping, Aramis, no shit, there you are. Kind of going between point and point in the attic, peering out the little holes in the roof that act as windows and stuff. Little peepholes, really. And you take a look at the surrounding cityscape. It is dark and foreboding, but there are little pinpoints of light here and there. You can see that there are certain buildings. One looks like a granary nearby that has a bunch of lights moving around in it. Looks like some sort of makeshift settlement. You can see the area that you came from around where the Night Riders are. That is the brightest part of Joserstan on this side of the city. And you figure that they are probably definitely the biggest gang over here. Over by the auction house, that area. And over by the area where you are now, and more of the eastern side of the city, you don't see a whole lot of lights. They're few and far between. But while you are keeping watch, on the opposite side of the building where you are staying from the direction of the maze, you take a look down in the alley and you see some movement below. And you hear the very faint sound of footsteps. And you're pretty sure you also hear the clinking of either weapons or armor. You're not sure which. What do you do?
He's the only one up, right?
Correct.
I think he will wake Yaroplek, just in case he needs a distraction, and he will inform him of the situation, and then he is going to... Is there any way I can try and get a better vantage of what's going on? Like, can I lean, like, are these window slits large enough to try and like lean out of, or would I have to go down and try and investigate it?
You could go down. You could also exit out of the attic through some larger holes that kind of have tarps over them. But you shake Yaraplex awake, and he just kind of half pulls out a knife. Lots of guys do it. What are you talking about? What?
I think we have company. I will need your backup, my friend.
He agrees and accompanies you.
Stay close enough to the others that you can rouse them if things go south. I'm going to climb out to this hole here and see if I can see anything.
He nods and says, of course. Man, stocky guys like me don't really belong on roofs, you know.
Yes, I don't blame you. And, Aramis will start trying to climb through the hole, brushing aside the tarp.
Alright, you're gonna try and get closer to these guys, or listen to them, or spy on them.
Yes. Before they get too close.
Hit me with a stealth check.
Oh boy, I'm so good at those.
You're Celestine, of course you're sneaky.
Yep, but my heavy armor means
Yeah.
I'm not that sneaky.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Don't worry, maybe they're friendly.
Although, if we were resting, I would have had to take my armor off, right? To get the benefit of a full rest. So I'd be
Correct.
unarmored. Okay, so 25, and I am
We'll
not wearing
go ahead.
chainmail.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that 25. They're both.
He's in his travel clothes right now.
You find it far easier to move around without your armor. And it is tricky because you're going across these rooftops with a bunch of cheap tiles on them. They clink softly underneath your feet and hands, but not nearly loud enough for somebody on the street below to hear you. You catch up with these figures that are in the alleyway below you, and you kind of drop down to a shorter building and then lay flat, stick your ear over the side to see what you can hear. You hear the footsteps of maybe 6, 7, 8, 9-ish people. You are not sure because it's so dark out. But you can definitely hear, now that you're focusing on it, the telltale signs of armed and armored individuals. And you can also hear their accents. They sound like they're from the barony.
Jeez, what are they saying?
But if we manage to catch one of them, we won't have to come back. Yes, but I don't really enjoy the thought of being this close to one of these freaks. I don't think any of us do, but, well, that's what the sack is for, isn't it? If it even works. Well, even if it doesn't work, hopefully we won't be around long enough to find out. I hope this Loxley fellow is paying you as well as you say he is. Oh, he is. We've already got half of it, and we'll get the other half when we finish the job. Ooh, it was only half? Mm-hmm. Oh, there, you hear a bunch of them going, oh.
Based on these context clues, does it sound like they're man catchers?
It sounds like they are here to catch someone.
Okay.
You don't really have enough information to decide whether or not these are Redfield guys. But I would say you know well enough that they sound like they're from Ashburn Sound.
Okay. He will make
It could
his
be
way.
It would be a safe assumption to make.
Okay. He will make his way back to the group, and he will try to start rousing everyone.
The first time
You make it back
first-
to the attic and start waking people up.
the first time you try and wake Marjorie, she's like swats at you like, later. And then you swat at her again, and it's just, oh right. lifts the face back. I'd hoped it was just a nightmare. and then she'd get up.
Well, it very may well be. Sounds like barony men. They might be man catchers, and I think they are here for us. whether or not they're here for us specifically or here for people in general. I'm not sure. But
She yawns.
prepare ourselves.
How? Oh, did they say who they were here for? She kind of rubs her face.
No, they just said they needed to catch one of us.
One of us?
Yes, but it may be that they are looking for some individual they seem to think is deceased. I do not really know if they are here for us specifically or not. But they are here for us now.
I would be surprised. Did they mention anything? Any other details?
They are hunting for people for someone named Loxley.
Does
That
that
name
name
ring
ring
a
a bell? Yeah.
To you guys, not at all.
Not at all. Okay. Oh yeah, because out of character knowledge, he's all the way out in the boonies, so in the colonies. So yeah, I don't think these folks would know. How far into our rest are we?
Only a couple hours in. It is good and dark outside right now.
Am I able to look out the window and see them, or no?
No, they're further up the alley. You would have to go on Aramis' route.
Oh, okay. Marjorie would excuse herself for a moment, and like she gets her coat and goes to like a neighboring room, and there she will talk to her hidden friend, and she would urge them to go check it out, like find out who they're here for.
Oh, but what if they're here for you? Or worse, me?
Marcus, they do not know you exist. Oh, no one else other than me knows you exist. And
He
besides,
gets the shifty eyes. I don't know, is that weird little mushroom person? I'm pretty sure she can see me.
oh, right, and her. Don't worry. But if they
You
are
said,
here,
don't worry, have you seen her dead little eyes and her revolting needle teeth? Am I the only one that can see how weird she is?
she closes her eyes and breathes. She's like, "Yes, Marcus, but that's not important right now. What I need you to do is to find out if
blonde
those
guy is
guys."
acting like she's just an old lady, completely harmless. He eats everything she hands him.
Yes, Modesta's precious, but she calms him down, and she says, "What is important though is to find out if they are here for me. I don't know why they would be. Maybe they're after someone else in the group. If you could find that out for us, that'd be great. Don't engage. Just gather information. I don't need you." I don't know what's gonna happen if you get in trouble, so don't.
Huh, what a coincidence. I don't know either. Don't get in trouble. Some advice.
she has a very quiet chuckle, like be careful, and just be careful. Yes, she's like debating if like anything could actually happen to him or not, and she's like, just come back as soon as you can, especially if they're heading our way and not to the labyrinth.
He pouts and just says, "You're fine." And you see him begin to go out of the room through the doorway and down the stairs. And he kind of face palms. What am I doing?
She does the shout whisper, "Thank you," after him, and then she will, putting her coat back on, rejoin everyone. She's like tidied up her hair a little bit. She's a little disheveled still, but she's a little more put together now.
When Marjorie comes back, all of you feel a little bit warmer and cozier. The temperature goes up.
Oh man, do I always seem to have this aura of cold? Oh, Sorry, everyone. Out of character apologies.
It's just really drafty around you. It's weird.
I
So you
assume
come
no one
back.
mentions it.
Well, most people are asleep. The only one
Right.
who would really notice that would be Aramis.
Mhm.
So do you want to wait for your friend?
Well, I mean, I imagine it takes a while for the group to get up. Is it a safe assumption that he might be back before we're like all geared up and ready to go? Because like,
Marjorie, roll a d20 for me, please.
oh god, okay. Come on, Marcus, roll 1d20. Oops. Let's go. Oh no!
I'm
Oh,
sure
that's
he's fine.
that's what we like to see, baby.
Oh. My boy!
So you and Aramis wait patiently for a very short amount of time when you hear a noise coming from the alleyway. The noise sounds a whole lot like, "Oh, good lord!" and then a bunch of gunfire and the stock sound of a trash can falling over and a cat screaming.
And Heinrich is pulling out the Alpino.
Marjorie just face palms. She's like, it seems they are not sneaky as we were worried. She looks to Aramis.
Margie, you want to roll me another d20 there for me, friend?
Not really, but okay. Roll 1d20. Please don't be a 1. Oh, it's 2 ones.
You
It's an
got
11. Yeah.
Hold on, I need to figure something out real quick.
Well, I mean, at
Okay.
least we're gonna know who they are, maybe.
It's a little further down from where you saw them at first, Aramis. Or saw them last, I should say. And you just hear voices echoing down the alleyway like, "Get him! Get him! No, not with that! Not with the bag! The bag! Get the bag! What is happening? I hate this town!" And
Ironically, probably one of the best things that could have happened.
I hope they don't catch him. If he can be caught, like out of character, I'm like, oh no.
so there you guys are. You're all awake at this point, listening to the noises coming from the alleyway. But then you hear a weird silence for a few seconds, and then you hear like a bunch of thudding just going crazy in the bottom of your building. It sounds like a big cat is just getting the rips, getting the zoomies, and shit's getting knocked over and stuff. And you hear some weird noises outside on the second floor, and then on the third, and then there is a single beat, and then what appears to be a purple velvet sack crashes through one of the windows and begins spinning on the floor in front of you guys.
I leap forward and grab it. And I'll do my best to open it. Is it tied? I assume it's tied.
It's half tied. It's very loosely tied at the
Okay.
bottom.
Mhm.
And it's got these shiny yellow goldish looking lanyards on the end. And you guys watch as Marjorie takes this bag, opens it up, and you see a translucent, glowing, very obviously ghostly figure of what looks like an impoverished Dumat man with a bushy mustache and pointy elfy ears. And you can hear him as if he is yelling at you from a distance, very softly, just, "Ah! Oh, I can't breathe in the bag! I can't get out of the bag! I hate this bag!
Through her teeth, you don't need to breathe.
Yeah, I know! That's what makes it weird! Get it off of me!"
Yeah, I pull the bag off.
He windmills his arms in a panic, and like collides and bounces off the floor and some of the furniture. All of you guys are cold now, again, by the way.
What is going on?
The ghostly figure freezes and begins to float towards the exit.
Yeah, I guess, does he look different than usual?
He looks clearer than usual. Looks a little bit more solid, and all of you guys can see him.
Aramis is just wide-eyed.
Ollie's just like pointing the wand at him shakily. Is that a
Marjorie slowly puts herself between them and Marcus. She's like, it's okay. He
I
doesn't.
thought you said they were barony.
They were. This is not... I have no clue what is going on here.
She kind of like stands on her tiptoes to look out the window to make sure like no one's like actually chasing after, the bag that just ran away.
You look out the window and you see a bunch of people chasing the bag that flew away, and they're saying, "Get the bag! Get the bag!" Oh, where is it? It went up there! Up there, on the 4th floor of this building! Literally has 2 ways in!
How about she looks at the bag in her hand and starts, how you bundle up like a towel real fast? She wraps that around her 2 hands real quick. She's like, how about we put a pin in this for a minute and we need to go. Because those guys are about to find us. I assure you, he means no harm. She kind of waves her hands. And I guess I would continue to shove Marcus through the door he was about to escape through.
So you can see me! He puts his hands over his chest and over his groin. Oh, I feel so naked! I hate this!
You're wearing clothes. Yeah, calm down.
I am?
I look at him, yeah!
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, see? No problem. Anyway, come on! She, spurs everyone into action and quickly tries to vacate the room.
You guys begin to leave. Marcus locks eyes with Yarp, stop looking at me! Stop looking at me! Modest is still groggy and kind of wiping the sleep out of his eyes. Says, "Oh my god, what? This is still a nightmare, right? I'm still dreaming?"
Daisy would take Modest's hand and, guide him with everyone else, but because Daisy's been told she's not to interact with or look at Marcus, she's looking anywhere but at Marcus.
That's great. Who is this guy and why is he glowing?
That's Grandpa, Modest.
Yeah, not now. Later, Modest. She gives his cheek a little pat and urges him to, shoves him out the door.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I need 10 hours of sleep, just like anyone else. Why are you guys all so energized?
Fear. It's called fear.
That is a lot of sleep.
Whoever that was, I am assuming that they will be coming and searching for their bag, since they were unable to obtain their quarry. And you'll see Aramis just pulls out his rapier and his flintlock pistol, readying himself.
Well, I suppose worst case scenario, I will give them their bag back, but if we're able to avoid detection and get out of here, she kind of rubs the fabric between her fingers. What is this made out of? Is it some fancy stuff?
It is very fancy indeed. It feels really good in your hand. It inspires confidence in you for some reason.
Huh.
Do we have a few minutes, or are we on the run?
You are in the attic section of a 4-story tenement building.
Okay, we're still up here.
That only has 2 entrances, And you also know that those entrances are being basically flooded with dudes right now.
So both.
So I will not do this now.
Yeah, no ritual cast for that right now.
They,
We'll
you heard them say that they were going to do a pincer from each of the entrances. Since there were actually Aramis, Marjorie told you guys that there were only 3 on the one side, and you know that there are much more than 3, so you safely assume that the rest of them are on the other side of the building on the alleyway. So they are pinching the building right now, is what you guys hear happening a few floors below.
I think they mean to cut us off. There was more than these 3 when I was on the roof. I am sure that the other ones are not too far off in the alley, waiting for us to make our escape.
is there a building close enough to this one where we could jump from roof to roof?
Yeah, that's what Aramis did in
Okay.
the first place.
I didn't know if he was still on this building. Okay, yeah, why don't we just do that?
It sounds dangerous. What if we fall off?
Well, I mean, you'll be fine. You'll be there to catch me.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, man, who hired who?
Well, you're being helpful, and I appreciate it. It's like one of those, I imagine there's the silence and everyone's just watching them talk, and she's like, anyway. she'll hurriedly head out, I guess, a nearby window onto the roof.
Yes, there is the entrance that Aramis used that is covered by a tarp. There's just a hole in the roof. Are you guys making a mad dash, or are you trying to be stealthy about this?
I was going to try and sneak. Because I feel like they
Yeah.
have 4 flights of stairs to do, so.
Try and be stealthy.
Oh man, I could grease up the end of the stairs.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, you want to try and stall these
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, that'll buy us some time to climb away.
I hate that the new version of that spell says non-flammable.
I know, right?
I figure that's really up to the DM anyway.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
pretend I didn't see that.
Don't take our joy
It's
from
like
us.
The best use of that spell.
No,
Just
not
lighting it
that
on fire.
kind of oil. Not that kind of oil. The boring kind. Shut up, nerd.
How do you even make non-flammable grease? Because it's not oil, it's grease, and grease is flammable.
Gah.
Well, because, yeah, you can't because there are grease fires. It's just once you start them, they're, like, really hard to put out.
Silence, nerds.
I think it's like the grease that you lube an engine with, though. Not liquid.
That'll be fine. So, Heinrich, you stay behind and watch while everybody clambers out this hole in the roof and begins making their way across the rooftops to try and get distance from your pursuers. What's your passive perception? Or if you want to, you could roll a perception for listening.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, my passive is 10.
Let's take a 10. You can hear these guys coming in from both directions, and they're clambering up the stairs. And you hear a few different phrases that they say. Check this room, check the corner. Just see if you can find him. Hopefully he's still stuck in the bag. We've got to get that bag back. Something, spent most of what I had on that damned bag. But we can't do anything without it. They are making very good time, and they get up to the 3rd floor before everybody in the attic manages to gather up their stuff and get out. All right, you wait until they get nice and close, and you throw down grease on the stairs. And you see 3 armed and armored men with sabers and pistols out hit the grease, get a couple steps up, and just absolutely eat shit. One of them actually breaks the rickety banister and like falls flat on his ass. And he is like injured, just like, oh god, why? And you get a decent look at these fellas. They all have very, very Ashburn sound barony accents, and they are all wearing decent quality armor with decent quality weapons. They've all got breastplates with bandoliers filled with pistol cartridges. Some of them have daggers, and some of them have sabers. But all of them have white pauldrons. Or if they don't have pauldrons, it looks like they have painted or colored whatever they have on their shoulders white.
Would any of us recognize those markings?
That's one of the mercenary groups, isn't it?
Ollie would recognize them for sure.
Yep. But you're still in the other building, and the rest of us are not at this point, so I don't know yet.
But Heinrich, you hear somebody bellowing, "Get up! Get up at once! What the hell are you doing? Someone's up there! Looks like a grease spell if I ever saw it! Could be ectoplasm. Shut up!"
You know, I'm gonna go join everyone else while they're arguing.
Heinrich, hit me with an athletics check.
Oh no.
Heinrich, you got woken up in the middle of your nappy poo. Your back is fucking you up right now. You find it very difficult to properly move around, and you can hear the guys downstairs saying, "Footsteps. Just as I suspected." And you hear a very sharp crack. And when you turn around and look, you see what appears to be a very thin rope wrapped around one of the beams in the attic, and then you hear footsteps coming up the stairs. Hit me with another athletics.
Okay, these dice are trying to get me killed.
You make it out of the attic slowly and painfully, but you make it. And you start making your way across the rooftops of these adjacent buildings, and you kind of have no choice but to let those tile roofs slide. And you see these tiles kind of sliding off the roof, and you hear them crashing below in the alley. You guys wanted to try and do a kind of a stealthy escape.
Indeed.
Yes.
Everybody hit me with a stealth check.
Oh man, with the way the dice are going for me today. Hey.
Oh, I could have been way worse.
Oh yeah, that could have gone better.
Okay, you guys make your way across these rooftops, and with everything that's going on, you feel fairly comfortable that you are making enough distance that you will probably be able to lose them. But you can definitely still hear them trying to catch up to you. You cross a few rooftops until you get to the opposite end of the block, basically. And you come to another 4-story tall building that looks like some kind of commercial space or factory. You're not 100%. But it also has some boarded up windows that you have to pry off in order to get inside this building, if that's what you wanted to do.
Might as well, seems we don't have much.
The next best
nowhere else
option.
to turn.
Yeah. While we're jumping across the rooftops, despite herself, Marjorie's kind of smiling. as we make our escape. She's kind of talking to, I don't know, who would be close to her? Marcus for sure. Oh, she's telling him, you know, despite everything, this is thrilling in a way, isn't it?
What is wrong with you? This isn't thrilling at all. It's terrifying.
I'm beginning to think there's a lot of things wrong with me, but...
You see that he is pumping his arms and floating along. And appears to be out of breath.
What? You're not even walking.
Oh, all right, I keep forgetting. I feel a little silly.
Well, hard to feel
Madam.
silly when you have this condition.
Madam Black is not happy about this. Oh, fantastic. Some hideous druid monstrosity and now an actual ghost. How could this possibly get even worse?
Getting caught.
She kind of makes a face. Indeed, fair enough. Got her little peg leg. But you guys get to the other side of this building and start prying off the boards across the windows, and you climb inside. And Heinrich, you're last, and when you get in, you guys barricade the windows with some extra furniture you find lying around, and the last thing you can see, Heinrich, is a bunch of these armored men climbing out of the hole that you guys used to climb out of, and they are making their way towards you. And the room that you find yourselves in is quite queer indeed. It has a lot of windows, and it looks like it has a bunch of cauldrons, dusty cauldrons, a bunch of knives and vices on the tables. It looks like some kind of workshop. But from all of the beams on the ceiling are hanging shards of glass by strings. And when you guys come in, you kind of jostle the room around a little bit. A little bit of the wind gets in there, and so by the time everything quiets down a little, the tinkling of glass kind of fills the air and subsides after a few moments when you guys are still.
I think we're still being followed, so, right? Like we haven't...
As far as you know.
Oh, so, and what kind of room is this? You said it was like textiles or something?
Looks like some kind of workshop. There's a bunch of
A
tools
workshop,
on a bunch
okay.
of different tables, and there are tons and tons of shards or pieces of glass hanging from the ceiling from strings.
Oh.
Basically, not all of them, but a bunch of them are hanging at around nose or eye level, so you kind of have to crouch down underneath them.
Right. I guess we probably want to keep fleeing. Head down some or find some stairs and try and get back. Because, like, if I lost my train of thought. A child ran up. Marjorie just brings up, like, okay, are we running? Are we fighting? What's up?
I'm inclined to run. I don't have much left in me. I mean, I can try to slow them down, but it's only one at a time. And they seem like they outnumbered us? Aramis?
Yes, they did.
I believe they are one of the mercenary groups. They have the White Pauldron.
The White Company's here.
He nods.
Great. Well, I can almost guarantee they're after me.
Marjorie, Marcus leans into you and he whispers as if nobody could see him still. No, they're not actually after him. I think they're trying to catch one of some monsters that live in the mazes.
So I think the vote is to run since they're trained mercenaries. And we're just a guy, more or less.
Did you hear the part where Marcus whispered to you?
No, what did he say again? I'm sorry.
He said that they are not after Ollie, they are trying to catch one of the people in the
Okay,
mazes.
yes, I did. I heard that in the background. Okay. Oh, well, that's good. So now basically all they're after is the bag, then. Or that would be a safe assumption.
Would be a pretty safe assumption.
You guys want me to just drop it and we keep running?
Seems safe.
All right. It's a voice we got up for a yes, and I will take that as a yes. I will drop the bag and we'll keep running. It's just laying in the middle of the floor here. She is loath to part with it because she really likes the fabric it's made out of. But she'll drop it.
It's a bag, an evil bag.
A good bag for us.
Marcus pounds. But you continue on. You guys begin filing down the stairway in this strange building.
Did it look like it was like a stained glass workshop up top?
It does. Maybe not only stained glass, but that would be a very safe assumption. Definitely some kind of glassworks. Everybody hit me with another stealth check.
We left the bag behind, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
dropped it. Margie
Oh my
wasn't thrilled about
gosh.
it, but she did.
Oh yeah. It's all coming together.
Well,
I'm sorry.
hopefully we gave them what they wanted and they'll leave us alone. Please leave us alone.
Letting my villainous DM out a little bit too much there. Alright, you guys shimmy down these stairs as quiet as you can. But this building, it's so old and decrepit. It's been neglected for so long that everything creaks. Including you guys make it to the third floor, and you can hear creaking beneath you too. You can hear at least a couple of people on the floor beneath you sneaking around.
Don't like that.
Hopefully, probably unrelated. So I'm hoping.
What are your guys' passive perceptions?
10.
16.
And
13.
What did you say, Daisy?
like 19.
Because you and Marjorie are pretty high, right? Like, how much is yours, Daisy?
Yes, mine is 16. 18. 18. I can't read. It's 18.
All right, so you guys go from the fourth floor down to the third, and you you guys press control and enter sneak mode and try to make as little noise as possible while you know these goons are making their way across the rooftop. And Marjorie and Daisy, you kind of look around this room, which also has a ton of pieces of glass suspended from the rafters. But you also see that there's some fishing wire across the workshop tables and chairs and beds that are in this particular floor. It is a very big open space with large columns of wood holding up the floors. And when you guys, when you and Marjorie and Daisy look around, you can see that the spaces in between the furniture are less dusty than other areas, indicating that at some point, somewhat recently, somebody was up here. And Daisy, looking at the remnants of the footprints in the dust, It seems like somebody was shuffling along as if they were limping or injured.
Oh, okay. I would relay this to Heinrich, since I currently can't talk to anyone. But I can talk to him because he speaks all common.
Telephone.
Yeah, I relay it to you, and you relay it to everyone else.
Yup.
Marjorie, you find that some of the fishing lines that you see suspended across the bits of furniture and stuff seem to be connected to these weird-looking spring mechanisms.
So it's screaming trap to me.
Indeed.
I mean, if they do keep pursuing us, we could just lead them through these. Marjorie will point them out to everybody.
Are they like really obvious? Or?
They are hidden. They need to be pointed out. But Marjorie and Daisy's, they're quite perceptive, and they manage to find some of the more obvious ones.
Okay.
Because the whole room seems to be covered in junk and magazines and newspapers. It's pretty rife with detritus and trappy looking places.
Yeah, I guess if we're worried that they'll keep coming after us, we can hold up in this room.
Or do you guys want to just like hide behind junk and stuff?
Yeah, I thought so.
Might as well.
Okay. Everybody roll a stealth check, but with advantage.
Oh, do we have advantage?
Yep.
Okay. Finally. Oh
Right.
my gosh. We were all due for some better rolls, man. Those are hurting. So these are the guys that were chasing you, Ollie, isn't it?
Yeah, they these are the ones that
The white
got into a
band
little
or
bit of a
whatever?
scuffle with. Yeah, the White Company.
Oh, white company, okay.
Less of a scuffle and more of a standoff.
Well, at least it's good to know that they weren't here for you. You know, while we're quietly hunkering down, she she's just, I remember Nadia saying they were a very small group, mercenary group. I'm surprised that they would have made such a long trip. I suppose this is where they're from, if I'm not mistaken, but still.
What do you mean they're not here for me?
She holds or she would like considers the bag, and she's like, I don't think they would have put you in the bag. I think it was probably meant for one of the creatures in the creatures or people in the labyrinths. She looks to Marcus, and I had a friend look into it. And I imagine like Marcus would nod enthusiastically. So I think oddly enough, this might just actually be pure happenstance. Unusual happenstance, and concerning if you think they're here for you. What
Yeah,
would
well-
they want you for? What happened?
They tried to kidnap my sister.
Why?
She was putting her nose in the wrong people's business.
So, standard kidnapping for being nosy. Gotcha.
Yeah, didn't actually fight the, 3 men that I encountered there. We, like I said, had a standoff, and they walked away, we walked away.
Oh, okay. And so your sister's still at home?
Yeah, she's fine.
Oh, okay. Good, good. I'm glad it ended well. But why you seemed worried that they'd be here for you, though? That
Yeah,
doesn't.
they walked away. Wasn't sure, I guess. Reassuring that you say your ghost friend says they're not, but it seemed the most obvious connection to me, so easy assumption.
Okay. She nods, and she'll just leave it at that for now. She'd just wait quietly for our boys to come on in.
All right, you all feel very confident about your hiding places. This room looks like mostly storage. There's a ton of junk around here, a bunch of barrels and crates, stacks of panes of colored glass, spools of metal wire. You guys throw yourself behind like a bunch of wooden sawhorses with stuff on top of them. Yeah, you're all feeling pretty good about this. And so you sit and quietly wait, and you hear the sounds of people downstairs kind of moving around. And you hear them, you hear the sounds below you, and then they suddenly stop. And then you hear the noises of men coming up the stairs. And then their noises very quickly turn into less they're trying to hurry and come and get you, and they become weirdly scattered. You hear like muffled voices speaking very urgently, and you hear like weird, sharp, metallic sounds, like big metal snaps, and you hear yelling and screaming and swearing. You hear some crashes, and then after about like a minute or two of that, everything goes quiet again.
So they didn't come through the way we did where I dropped the bag?
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. Okay. All right. Ominous silence downstairs. Don't like that. Nope, nope, nope.
Not one bit, but better there than here.
So after a little bit more tense waiting, you can hear outside above you on the adjoining rooftops a bunch of footsteps.
Oh yeah, Marjorie, very quietly. I do not like this position we're in. I'm not a strategic expert or anything, but fighting on 2 fronts is not going to be fun.
Well, if downstairs seems like what downstairs sounded like, perhaps we can put this front, and he points up, against that front and points down.
Well, I sure hope these traps do the heavy lifting. And she'll fall quiet again, and I guess we hold firm to the plan.
If they fall into these traps, I say we run back upstairs and let whatever's downstairs have to get through them first.
I would actually I like have a little shawl, a dark shawl. I would put it over my light hair so I blend in a little more. And so if they do catch a look at me, they like don't know my hair color.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
You guys have your quick conversation. Oh yeah, what's up?
I was just saying, smart.
Yeah, you guys have your quick conversation, and then you hear the sounds of a bunch of dudes spilling in the same way that you did. They throw down the bookshelf or whatever you put in front of the window, and you hear it crash, and then a bunch of footfalls of heavy boots and what have you. And then you hear the tinkling of the glass again, and then all the footsteps kind of stop. And Marjorie and Daisy, you can hear kind of some hurried whispering above you. And then you hear from downstairs somebody yelling upwards, the voice of a woman. Woodward! Is that you up there? Sadie! What's the situation? There's someone else in here with us. Yes, we followed them across the rooftops. No. They're in the walls. Sadie! What is it? We've got the bag. I do believe we could use it here. But there's someone else here. We're running silent. Use the crystal. And you hear nothing after that.
Oh, kind of shrinking her place, like, oh no.
Ollie's keeping his wand trained on the stairs.
I guess I would be looking the other direction, so we have that covered.
There is a staircase going up and a staircase going down.
Are they on the same side or opposite sides of the room?
They're on the same side.
So like a stairwell kind of
Correct.
thing. Okay, all right.
So
well,
they could go right past us without ever seeing us.
Yeah, if they don't stop on this floor, because we're on the 3rd floor, right? We went down from the top floor where we came in.
Correct.
Okay, so just making sure. All right. Well, crap. Oh, trying to think. Who we gonna...
Can I make an Arcana check against this Sadie person saying, no, they're in the walls?
Oh, man. Sure, Sure, go ahead.
Like, is it, like, any bells ringing at all?
No, it's not ringing any specific bells, but I'll tell you what, that is exactly what you didn't want to hear.
Yikes.
And also, it sounds like whatever they were trying to catch with the bag, they feel that it is in here. And that is probably what they are referring to. Don't know how obvious that was, I'm just reiterating.
Yeah, no, I get you. Right, give me 1 second, my cat's being obnoxious.
Yeah. So what are we doing, fellas?
I'm trying... Do we want to wait for the other guys? I think the plan was to stick, because the guys from upstairs have to come down, don't they?
It would appear so.
Yeah, so I think we would probably stick to the plan, and if, they find one of us, then obviously we're gonna fight back. But I think the big plan is to try and let them past. Right?
Yeah. I mean, avoiding fighting them is always going to be better.
Well, because we already did a quick check, and they would be a challenge for us, not some pushovers that would be easy to just kick their butts and take their stuff. I think that was the safe assumption we made. Okay, so yeah, I would say we hide. We're hanging out. We're trying not to be noticed, but be at the ready.
Sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good to me. If need be, I have one final trick up my sleeves. It's just unfortunate if I have to use it.
All right. So, Ollie, you were taking a look at the stairs. You were watching the stairs, and you were the first to see that several of these mercenaries, they come taking down the stairs real light-footed. They're doing their utmost to sneak, and they've all got their pistols out, and they're pointing them in every direction, and they are whispering very lightly amongst themselves. And they start they get off the stairs, and instead of going immediately around to the other side, they start investigating the room where you guys are. The last one down the stairs, there are 4 of them. There's 3 gentlemen with pistols and sabers, and there is one who has what is obviously a communication crystal in his hands. And he is some sort of spellcaster. He's got himself some wands, and he's got himself a magic-y looking spell book on his belt.
Alright. Do they happen to be inside a 30-foot cone from Ollie?
Ooh, they do, but there's a lot of cover. You're not sure how effective a cone spell would be in this situation. But technically, yes.
Okay. Do you guys think I should do it?
Well, have they noticed us yet?
Not yet.
Because I think the idea was to, obviously if they notice us, yeah, go for it. But I think the plan was to try and let them go past us. It sucks. I'd love a chance to, re-steal the bag yet. Oh, do I see bad guy?
The spellcaster has the bag over his shoulder.
Okay. It'd be hilarious if I could steal it back. We would make enemies for life, though.
No, he doesn't have it over his shoulder. He's got it ready. He's ready to
he's ready to try and grab somebody. Okay. Ooh. Well, that's okay. If he attacks me with it, fair game.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I've got an uncorked bottle in one hand and my wand in the other, ready to go if I need to.
Okay, well yeah, we hold our breath a moment more to see if they're gonna. Do they seem like they're close to spotting someone?
You're not sure yet. They just got off the stairs.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'd wait.
You wait a little bit longer, and one of them does go to the other end of the stairs leading down, but it looks like they're holding their position there and just watching. The other 2 begin going around the room and doing some checking. They kind of take the tips of their pistols and check in some boxes and chests and containers and lift up some sheets that have been placed over some of the equipment and what have you. You can tell that these guys are very nervous. What's up?
Am I remembering correctly that you said there were strings across parts of the room attached to springs, like
fishing
traps?
line? Yes.
Maybe we could make some small sound to lure them into that.
Did you want to do that?
Sure. It would distract them from us for sure, and then they might leave the room faster if they think it's dangerous.
Yeah, go for it.
So what did you want to do?
I mean, I can press to digitate harmless sensory effects. So I could say make a small noise in the corner of the room that would direct them through some of those tripwires.
You can absolutely do that.
I will give that a shot.
Ollie, you spy one of the traps that Daisy and Marjorie pointed out. And you throw down a little prestidigitation close by. And immediately, all four of them kind of react to it. They all kind of stop and glance over. Then they look towards their superior officer, the spellcaster, and he makes a motion with his hand for them to go over there and look for it. And they do. They very carefully make their way over. And Ollie, you watch as one of these guys plants his foot directly on one of these fishing lines, and he doesn't even notice. But you hear a metallic snap and a weird whirring sound, and you see a bunch of little metal bits just flying at face level at this guy real fast. It takes like a fraction of a second, but you just see like blood going everywhere, and he just he tries not to scream, but it doesn't really work, and he kind of starts thrashing around, and you can see that his face is filled with razor blades. And his boys are like shushing him, but he is very obviously blinded. He like stumbles around, kind of panicking, and all of his boys are like, stop, don't move. We can get to you, just don't move. And he's just like kind of trying to wipe at his eyes and like pick at the stuff that's stuck to him. He's like, oh my god, oh, this is the worst. It's everywhere, they're in my eyes. And you guys are watching him kind of back up towards one of the walls. And when he does so, you can see the panels very quickly slide away, and a hulking figure from within the walls wraps their weird claw-like hands around him, and with a peep, a little, he is dragged in, and the wall closes.
What the fuck?
The dudes with pistols open fire on that wall. They put a couple rounds in it, but everything is silent. What was it? Did you hear it? Where is it? What does the crystal say? Nothing. The little crystal begins to undulate with a little green light. And the spellcaster kind of shakes it in order to turn it off.
What did you say the name of the spellcaster was? It was mentioned when he was calling down from upstairs.
The spellcaster that is with you guys in the room right now is named Woodward, and there is a woman downstairs named Sadie.
Yeah. I imagine we're all looking at each other wide-eyed from our hiding spots.
What are your guys' passive perceptions again?
10.
16.
And
13.
Okay, so Marjorie and Daisy and
Yeah.
Aramis. Okay, so you know, like, when old people let their nails grow too long, they get all
Ew.
gnarly and twisty.
Yes.
What you guys see is like, it looks like somebody with nails all over their hands and maybe even their arms, like wrapping their arm around this guy and dragging him in.
Well, that's Ewy. So it's just
Why
like
can't anything be
nail.
normal?
So it's just nail overgrowth, but like all over them.
It was only a glimpse, but that's what you see.
Icky. No like. Nope. Well, they're down a guy now. What are they doing now? I mean, we're all just like horrified and gunfire.
Right now, the remaining three are having an argument between themselves, like kind of scream whispering. What do we do? We should get out of here. No, we keep going. We're supposed to catch one of these. We are split up. 2 groups. Someone else is in here. Traps. We're not ready for this. We were supposed to case this place, not directly blindly attack it. It's too late now. We're already a man down. Do you want to leave him here? Do you think he's really still alive?
I guess that's true. We wouldn't know. Shoot.
Uh-oh. Oh, Daisy gone.
Well, that's okay. I think we're about to wrap up because I'm like still debating what to do because like we don't want to get involved with the white company, and we also I'm assuming that this is Mad Maddie and that she was here and that are we really close to her tower?
We're like right across the street.
You're about a block away, actually.
Oh, okay. So we were closer
It is a
before.
labyrinth, though. Who knows how far it stretches?
That's true. Like maybe these are adjacent walls to her thingy. Okay. Well, I mean, she's the one we wanted to deal with, but now these guys are here, so I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I mean, we could spend the week considering our options if we're really stumped right now.
All right.
Perhaps that's the best option.
So these guys are having like a scream whispering argument with each other,
Mhm.
but like they've basically made their case as quickly as they can, and they are all staring at their commanding officer here, and he seems quite torn. No, Woodward just says, "Tits and buggery." He makes a thumb. He takes a thumb and just like throws it behind him, and all of his boys carefully look at the ground and step very carefully and start to make their way back up the stairs.
Marjorie's looking back at the part of the wall that ate the guy.
So, did that panel have a bunch of bullet holes when they shot it, or did they not, like, go through it?
Oh, they went through the panel.
Okay.
So like it's got a couple bullet holes in it now. It's got 3.
They
Once they
fired right-
leave, we could look at
Did they
it.
fire, like, right when it closed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna peek in there and see if they actually hit it all.
Don't get too close. That's what opened the wall.
Oh, was it proximity
It's-
based?
That's kind of based on what was going on downstairs.
Hmm.
It's like, don't get too close to the walls because the wall's open.
Remember, they're in the walls.
True.
Oh god, they're in the walls.
But we are also paying attention. We're not bumping into it blinded by razor blades.
But Heinrich, you still want to go over there and check?
Oh, once these guys leave.
Once it's quiet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys wait for quite a while, and I guess I could say that you guys hear the people downstairs. They also exit the building. You wait a couple minutes and make sure that they don't come back. And then Heinrich, you make your way over towards this wall panel. You and Ollie were pretty close to each other, so you don't have to go very far. You don't have to check for traps or anything. And you go over to this wall panel, and what do you do to check? Do you look through the holes? Are you going to try and take the panel off? All sounds like really bad ideas, but you do you.
Do we
I have an
hear?
I have an idea. It's perhaps a little, I don't know if unhinged is the right word, but it's out there.
I'm not sure which part of the situation is hinged, so feel free.
Ollie puts a hand on Heinrich's shoulder and kind of pulls him back, and then he holds the pommel of his wand, which has a sapphire embedded in the bottom of it. He holds that up to his mouth and points it at the wall and speaks into it, and the sapphire glows. And he's going to try to cast message at the creature that pulled the guy into the wall, and you'll have to tell me if it doesn't work because of the barriers that prevent it. But he tries to just ask he just asks, what or who are you? Just pointing in the direction of the wall where the guy got yoinked into.
For a few seconds, you don't hear anything. You can tell that whatever this is no longer behind this panel. But you do hear some very, very light scratching noises underneath your feet.
And I point down and try again.
Hold on a sec. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I don't mean to be doing dramatic pauses like every 10
Oh
seconds.
no, you're fine. It just always, it feels so much more dramatic because it is like quiet without the music.
No,
Yeah, that is true.
It's like, oh, is this for thematic silence or?
No, Steve is alt-tabbing through all of his notes.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
But hey, if it's dramatic, let's go. Ollie and Heinrich especially, but all of you can hear whispers coming from underneath the floor. Time for talk is over. You're invaders, thieves. None of you will ever get my treasures.
We didn't take anything.
We don't even want your treasure.
More scratching, liars. You're all after what I have. You all are. You lie and you cheat and you steal. Oh, but you will never find it. No, it is safe. And you'll die here, yes.
Well, whatever it is, it's definitely under their mattress.
Old habits die hard. Oh man. This isn't unsettling at all. Guess I look around. Do I feel like this is part of her labyrinth? Or is maybe all the walls of the neighboring buildings her labyrinth?
You can make an insight.
Yeah. Insighty-roo. Oh, oops, I forgot to turn advantage off. Not that it really helped me or anything.
Damn it, Nikki, what are you doing?
Oh my god, I can't believe that was a 1 and a 5 for realsies. Oh.
Wow, no cap.
Yeah. 11.
Well, Margie, you can tell just by the
Gross.
voice alone that this appears to be a man, and they have a Kesh accent.
Oh, so we're in someone else's maze, maybe?
It seems to be a more likely scenario. I mean, this is definitely some kind of either a maze or just a series of traps. Maybe it's a smaller maze. You don't know. Sounds like a safe assumption to make, though.
Yeah, she would announce that doesn't sound like a woman. I don't think it's Maddie. I think we've trespassed on someone else's maze.
Then let's leave before we upset them further.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, we do our best to get the heck out of here now that we know what the traps look like. I imagine it's fairly easy to spot them.
When you mention Maddie, you just hear like a raspy laughter, like You fool. Leave this place and go to the sergeant's labyrinth. You will not survive. If I was Sergeant Haas, you would already have been dead.
Well, I think that answers an important previous question.
Yep. We now know that Mad Maddie is a sergeant.
She was probably an Alfaxmos. I'm beginning to think that little kobold probably nailed it on the head. She may be a disgraced soldier from the Imperium and ended up here. His theory was she was a black hat, but I don't, because she had the Alfaxmos flag in her room, I don't think so.
Well, no, one of the rumors that guy mentioned was that what he specifically said was that she was an Alfaxmos planted here by the Kaiser to bring the city down from the inside, but that's probably the dramatized version.
Maybe.
But being a militant of some kind,
Right.
correct.
Yeah, that would track. All right. Well, we leave.
Yeah.
We make
Yeah.
haste. Yeah, we like.
You guys hop over all of the tripwires, stay as far away from the walls as you can. Your asses run upstairs and book it back onto the rooftop. The entire time, whoever this is, like hissing and laughing at you. Run, little rats. You'll not escape. Maddie's going to get you. You wish that I had gotten to you first. The entire time you just hear shuffling and thudding around in the walls and the floors.
That one guy is probably definitely dead, huh?
Oh, he's super dead.
Okay.
He's the deadest.
The dead. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just had to do a heartbeat check on that one.
Ain't no way, bro. He gone.
He
If the
gone.
razor blades to the face didn't.
Right. Well, I mean, he would have been blind forever, so there's that. But
This is like Saw without the game portion. It just is.
He's just here to kill you.
What are you talking about? The maze is the game.
Yeah, that's true. So if you guys want to, you make it out onto the rooftops and you see no sign of the presence of these mercenaries. They have flown the coop.
oh,
It would seem.
they fucked off. Yeah. Okay.
We just head back to our previous hideout and finish our rest.
Oh yeah. Would they
Yes.
expect us to go back to that room? Probably not.
Even if they did, you feel pretty safe that they are not going to try anything like that. They're not going to try and come and get you.
They're spooked. Okay. Sounds good.
They're spooked, at least one man down, and they got the bag.
Right. Oh yeah. They have everything they want, really. So, all right. Yes, and I think laying down to finally rest would be a good place to stop. I need to make a note that in the morning I still want to do my little science project with the orb. Science with orb.
Oh, sure. Did you guys want to end it here? It's 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's 10:07.
Sure.
I think that's
That's
probably a good place to stop. But
I used my last spell slot of the day on mage armor, so it lasts a couple hours into the next day.
There you go, pal. Everything worked out. You got what you wanted.
oh yeah, because now you can cast it whenever you like.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, Steve, I'm not going to ask to do that all the time because I intend to make a rechargeable wand of mage armor.
Eventually.
That's fine.
Future you
That's fine.
project.
Yeah.
You need that mage armor, baby.
You do, yeah. Shoot, what do I?
So
I
should
probably
we,
need to.
should we go ahead and hit a long rest button?
Oh yeah, do we get a long rest?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, who takes second one?
Oh right, yeah. Oh, jeez, yeah. Okay, well that's good. Ooh, wait.
Marcus does.
Oh yeah, Marcus, fine. He
Oh,
doing great.
Man, what? Come on! Why do you always make me do it? See, this is why I hate being a ghost. Ugh, you don't sneak.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, you don't get
I
tired.
imagine-
Ugh, Marcus,
I
you
guess-
do everything.
Last thing before we go to bed is Ollie will just mention, I think there's just a little more that we should all talk about when next we aren't in mortal danger.
Marjorie's doing the hard side eye, but she doesn't say anything.
You all uneasily go back into your sleeping places and you get your positions back and take the rest of your nap and wait for daybreak.
Delicious rest. All right. Well, yeah, good place to end. And we'll run same time, same place on next Monday.
I
Sounds
literally
good.
have
Thanks for letting me talk at you.
6 pages of notes, some of which has been journalized.
Nice.
Literally just for the 3rd of January.
Oh, nice.
Busy day.
It was.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the 4th now.
It is the 4th
Oh yeah,
now.
we finally
But
move
so,
on to
yeah.
the next day.
So before he goes to bed again, you see Ollie furiously scribble on the next page. He crosses out what he had marked as 4th of January.
Oh.
He writes 3rd of January
Oh yeah, because he had more notes to add.
and added more to it.
All right, see you guys next week, and bye.